Episode 3662, Outsmart Your Belly Fat.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're having a fabulous week. It's Wellness Wednesday, and I want you to think about everything in regarding your healthy living, your lifestyle, because you know what? Have you looked at your tummy? Do you have a round middle? It's time to outsmart your belly fat. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. Have you ever tried to lose weight? I mean, seriously. I would say probably 98% of the world's population has tried at some point in their life or will be trying. You know, if they're too, they might be too young and they're not there yet, but they want to lose weight. I mean, losing weight, especially in the stubborn belly fat area, it can be a daunting task as we age. I mean, if you're perimenopausal, sorry guys, this is all women talk here for a minute. Perimenopausal, if you have that moment of menopause and then you're postmenopause, you're like, oh, how do I get this? And not only does excess belly fat impact our self-esteem, but it also poses serious health risks. Right? We've got the chronic diseases that come up. So it's time to outsmart your belly fat. So let me ask you this. What would it mean to you to have your belly fat melt away or at least decrease? What would that look like? What would that give to you personally when you look at yourself in the mirror? How do you think your clothes would fit? Would it change your attitude and outlook on your everyday? Would you smile more? Now, I know we're not sitting around asking ourselves, if I lost, a couple inches around my tummy, how would I feel? Most of the time, we're just saying, I want to lose weight. I want to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds. But what if you were specific and said, you know what? I really want to lose my belly fat. I really want to outsmart my belly fat because, come on, it's not good for my health. It just isn't. Research has shown that abdominal fat is more metabolically active and releases more harmful substances into the body compared to fat deposited in other areas, which means it increases the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and other chronic conditions. We don't need that. We don't want that. And despite the numerous diets and exercises and weight loss programs that are out there and available, shedding belly fat, it remains a significant challenge for many of us. I know I've been down there. Now, if you're female, let's hear me roar. Now, seriously though, us females, we got to stick together because let me tell you this, God made our bodies differently. And we are supposed to maintain and have a good amount of fat between our abdominal area and to that mid-thigh area, mid-leg. Okay, so just think about mid-quads. Or if you want to take from your knee up to your hip, bone there, like halfway there. And we're made to carry fat there. Why? It's so we can birth better, so we can have children better, so we can have the body and what it needs to actually get pregnant, birth a child, a healthy child, because they need a certain amount of fat from us. Remember, we're feeding another human being. And I know, again, we're not sitting around talking about this at dinner time. We're not sitting here going, well, you know what? God did make us pretty awesome. And you know what? This is okay. Well, this is what I tell my 5 babies. I have a kangaroo pouch. And I'm like, yes, each one of you added a little bit to this kangaroo pouch. And I'm very proud of it. I would like for it to be completely flat again, but you know what? It's not going to happen. It's just not. I am a curvy girl and I'm okay with that. And unfortunately, I'm short. And so it's kind of like I'm got to go against what my body really wants to do, or I should say really what my mind wants to do. My body's like, yeah, I can't do that. And so at some point, you have to say, you know what? These crash diets and excessive abdominal exercises, it just isn't going to work. And it's going to yield little to no sustainable results. It might give it to you for a few months, maybe even another year or two. But then what happens when all of a sudden you pull the trigger and you're like, I just have to have my sweets again. I want to live like a normal person. What have you tried in the past that has not worked well? Think about that. It's important to go back to those time frames in your life and saying, well, if I just knew that these are the 10 things that I've done when it comes to healthy living and losing weight and gaining muscle, etc., what has worked? Have you taken a tally? Have you really looked at it? Or are you one, because I get it, been there, done that. There's a new fad. Something pops up in your reel. There's something that says, oh, you can do this. Have you noticed? Mine recently has been walking so many thousands of steps. And I've done my own study way before reels, way before social media. And I got to tell you this story. So sidebar here. There's been a reel that's out there and it talks about, and I think it has like 4 ladies in it. And understand, I'm not knocking this for truth or not. I'm just telling you what comes into my Instagram reels. And obviously I look at a lot of health things and I listen to a lot of different people, but I also do my own research. So I do think that's very important. Well, they talk about, they say 10,000 steps is for everybody. And really it's not. If I'm this body type, I should be walking this many steps. And if I'm this body type, I should be walking this many steps. Some need more, some need less. I get that. Well, hence my digression here, my sidebar. Long, long time ago, remember when they had surprises in cereal boxes? Okay. So my kids love Frosted Flakes. And by the way, I do too. And no, Frosted Flakes is not a sponsor of this episode. They should be, but if they were, it would be just adding to our belly fat. So probably not a good idea. But anyway, back to our Frosted Flakes. Well, in the box was a prize. And guess what? I bought that box and not the off-brand because of the surprise, and I wasn't going to give it to the kids. It was a pedometer. I was like, yes, I can track how many steps I walk. Now, this was before the watch came out. This was before you had, the iPhone with all the health stuff on it. This was back in the olden days. Now, there were cell phones then, I will say that, but we didn't have the technology that we do right now. There's scales now that will sit here and tell you full readings, and you don't even have to go do a scan that costs you hundreds into thousands of dollars to do it. So anyway, I get this Frosted Flakes cereal, and I quickly find the prize. And you know what that means? I have to dig for it, right? Because they always put it about 3/4 of the way down. So mom knows these things because I had 5 kids. I had to take the prizes out so they wouldn't fight over them because they would all be looking for the prize. Well, this time mom wanted to snatch the prize for herself. And that's what I did. Well, I wore that pedometer for, the longest time. And then I decided I wanted to do a test. And I did a test. And I was like, I know I am so busy. I am on the go all the time. I know I don't stop. I keep moving. Do you know that I only clocked 4,000 steps in one day? Getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, going to bed at 1 a.m. the following morning, going to, I think that day, if I remember correctly, my son was playing tennis, my daughter was in cheerleading, they were also in band, we had concerts, and then they were also doing some sports. And there are my younger ones too, so then I had 3 others. Those were just my 2 older ones. Then my younger ones, they had all their stuff. Well, plus, then we had our church thing. So we were on the go like all the time. I only clocked 4,000 steps. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And you wonder why we think, gosh, do we really need to have this? And that's why really you need to go above and beyond the 10,000. The 10,000 really, honestly, in generalization, is to maintain. Is to just keep your heart going the way it needs to do, to keep everything flowing, to keep the blood and your veins working properly, et cetera, for circulation. So important. But we put this stress that you have to walk 10,000 steps. Well, if you want to lose weight, probably you need to add more. All right. So when I think about that, what have you tried in the past that has not worked well? Maybe walking has. For me, walking did. But guess what? I walked and ran 2 marathons in a week. Yes, I kid you not. And it was great until pretty soon I was like, I can't keep pounding the pavement. I did it for over 10 years, 11 years, I don't know, a long time. I was like, my body cannot keep up with this. This is not going to be good long term. So if you want to make an impact on your health, not only do you have to work backwards as to what hasn't worked well for you, but it's time to outsmart your belly fat and take control of your health. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Take back your health. That means, yes, you need to know what has happened in the past and what can you work on for today to impact tomorrow. Well, here are 3 things you can do. Number 1, revamp your diet. Oh, yes, the number one of number ones. You need to know what you're putting in. You need to have a well, harmonious, balanced diet, rich in real whole foods. You want them in their most natural state. So if you're going to freeze dry bananas yourself, great. But if you're going to buy freeze-dried bananas in the store, not so great. Seriously. Now, some people would argue, but it's a fruit. Yes, it is. But it's still done with something else called a preservative, even if it's a natural preservative. That means there's something added into it. So you want to have something that is literally of the basic of basic. God created it. Is it in the ground? Did it fall from the tree? That's what you need to look at. And that's a natural state. So guess what? Bread is not natural. Think about that for a minute. If you're going to have bread, you need to look at it from a whole grain perspective. That means no more white flour. And quite frankly, we need to be milling our own flour if we want to get all the stuff out of there. We have so much stuff here. It's ridiculous. Here, meaning in the United States, where I know when I travel overseas, I don't have that problem all the time. But man, my stomach, it's horrible. So eat real whole foods, literally fresh fruits, vegetables. Eat in season. So we've got spring coming. I hope it's coming. I'm like, come on, the warm weather's got to get here eventually. I mean, we're in a freeze warning right now. We're going to have another freezing night. Go figure. I mean, we're almost mid-April. This is not right. We're in the South. So I'm done with it. I'm over it. It's time to move into spring where my lows are only like 45-ish. And then my highs hit the 60s. And if we're blessed with a mid-70s day, then that's great. We're just getting ready for summer. But eat in season, right? Have those lean proteins. Don't eat red meat every single day. I'm all about my protein. I totally am. Your brain needs it. But I'm also here to tell you that red meat every single day is really not a good idea overall. So eat those lean proteins, those whole grains in their most natural state. Also, I want you to think about what you're drinking. If you're thinking, oh, my diet drink is fine. No, it's not. Look at what's on there. Stay away from sugary drinks. Diet, regular, I don't care. If it's not water, there's sugar in it. But you're like, well, what about tea? Okay, do you drink tea just as is from real tea leaves, or do you add in other things, including honey? Think about it. Because a lot of times we're adding so much sugar, we're not even realizing it, even if it's natural. Beware of it, because we're talking about belly fat here. We've got to outsmart our belly fat. Stay clear of processed foods. If it comes in a bag, no. Goodbye, no bags. And trans fats. All of it contributes to belly fat accumulation. Maybe you want to be Santa Claus. Okay, go ahead and move to the North Pole and you can go like that. And you may need some extra flubber because it's so cold up there. But here, not good for you. And it's just going to take a toll on your health. But when you incorporate healthy fats like avocados, nuts in their most natural form, again, olive oil, it can actually help reduce belly fat. Even avocado oil. I love to cook with avocado oil. It's fabulous. What is it for you? How can you revamp your diet? What is it that you need to take out and then replace with? Maybe it's more fresh vegetables. Great, do that. If you're like, but Christiane, I'm on a budget. Great. Go to your frozen section, because you can take out what you eat and consume and then put the rest frozen in your refrigerator and use it again another time. So you don't always have to buy fresh, but know how your vegetables are being treated. If there's anything added to it, the answer is no, including seasoning. You can season. You're a big girl, you're a big boy, you can season your own foods. You don't need added extra whatever it is. Salt, pepper, no. You do your own seasonings. Number 2, prioritize strength training. Now, we talked about walking, and walking's great, running's great, right? Great for cardio. But when you incorporate strength training into your fitness routine, it can help build muscle mass and increase your metabolism. The more muscle you have, what do you think it does? The fat goes bye-bye. It melts and melts away. Now, don't think that this is going to be an overnight success. How long has it taken you to be where you are? And if you're like, 65 years, 25 years, whatever it is, okay, so be patient with yourself. It's important. And also, when you're working out and you're doing strength training, think about your middle section. Now, I don't want to use the word target your tummy and your belly area, but I do want to say make sure you're doing something for that area. You need to strength train your entire body. And so that's important, but make sure you're specifically not leaving out your core, which is, what is it? Your abdominals, your back, right? Your legs, all of your core. That is so important. And when you do that, you could do like planks, crunches, Russian twist can even help tone and tighten your midsection, but you got to do it. Don't just think you're doing it. And you're like, but I do that already. I do abdominal exercises. Okay, great. Just touching your toes and going up the sky is not abdominal movement in the manner of strength training. So think about what you're doing. If you're one who says, Christiane, I can't get on the floor, that's okay. Use the wall. You can do planks on the wall. You can do push-ups on the wall. Okay? You can sit there and strengthen your core by putting your knees in a 90-degree angle. Now, understand this. Your knees have got to be healthy. So if you have bad knees, do not do this. But you bend at a 90-degree angle, put your back against the wall, and hold that position. And the longer you hold it, the stronger it's going to be. And at first, it's going to feel like forever. It's like, oh my goodness. And you only made it like maybe 5 seconds. But eventually, you'll get up to 30 seconds, a minute. And the idea is you want to be literally a chair. So your feet to knees bent at a 90-degree angle, literally. Okay, not a little bit higher, not a little bit lower, exactly 90 degrees. And if you're getting stronger, you could dip a little bit lower than 90 degrees. And work on that stability, holding it in, focusing on those abdominal muscles, and keep your back straight. And tilt your pelvis. Your back should be flat against the wall. You do not want to be able to put your hand behind your back. You know what? Maybe when you were growing up, you thought it was really cute, especially women, and you stuck your butt out. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. It creates a curve in your back. Not good. You want to tuck your pelvis in, and you want to be able to have that flat back. Okay? It's very, very, very important. So prioritize strength training. And then finally, number 3, you've got to prioritize sleep and stress management. So important. I am lacking sleep. I just got to be real with you. I've been up for the past 4 nights, at least until midnight every night. And a couple nights it was once again until 1 a.m. And I'm thinking, this season. But I'm trying to get back. And when I can get the sleep or take a nap, I do it. I pay attention to what my body needs. Understand though, sometimes you're going to be in a season. And if you're in a season that says, I just can't get the amount of sleep, fine, but still treat your body with compassion and do what you can do with the time that you do have. Because lack of sleep and chronic stress totally disrupts hormonal balance, and it actually promotes weight gain. It does. And when our hormones are all out of whack, what happens? Cortisol level goes whoop to the roof, and we're all messed up. And you wonder why we have our belly fat. Well, to outsmart it, you got to aim for those 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Practice relaxation techniques. When you're feeling that tightness in your chest, like, I'm feeling anxious. We've had a lot of storms here lately. There's been a lot of natural disasters. When you kind of are getting uptight, I have a grand dog that is so anxious. He literally quivers. He shakes so bad. You can see his body shaking, not just the inside, his whole body shakes. And it just breaks my heart. But here's the thing. A lot of us are anxious, and that's what our body is doing with the stress part. We don't actually shake to that degree unless if we're so scared out of our mind. But for the most part, on the inside, we're shaking so bad as if it's like our grand dog, where you could actually see his whole body shake. So pay attention to that. Pay attention when you feel that stress. and practice the relaxation. Practice breathing. Breathing is pivotal. If nothing else, if you do nothing else, sleep and breathe. And when I say breathe, I want that deep breathing. Do it 3 to 5 times a day. And if you can, if you're one who works at home, not only should you be standing up at least every 45 minutes and doing a walkabout, I also want you to add to that breathing. Deep breaths in, blow out slowly, and then repeat again. And repeat again and repeat again. It's so important. And when you take time to adopt these types of strategies and allow yourself to create a habit by staying consistent, you are outsmarting your belly fat. And that's when you take your health back. Slow and steady wins the race to a better you. And that's what you're looking for, right? You want a better you. Not necessarily to look great and be a model at your age. I mean, if that's what you aspire to, that's wonderful. But most of us want to be able to play with the kids, play with the grandkids, play with our dogs, be with family and friends, actually spend time in the community and church, and create impact in the world that we touch. But in order to do that, we also have to be active, because otherwise we're just doing it in a chair. And so take care of yourself. Slow and steady wins the race to a better you. Progress, my friend, progress is key to long-term success in your weight loss journey. That means don't rush what you can change with one step at a time, because one step at a time leads to miles of greatness. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.